here with Mary-Wan, Manager of Marketing for the Sarawak Tourism Office of Malaysia. Hi.
Hi, yes.
Tell us about Sarawak. I've heard so much about it, and I'm seeing all these lovely images of it. Tell us what it is. Where is it located, for starters, for those of us that are not very good with geography?
All right. Okay, the picture shows itself, right? It speaks by itself. All right, thank you. Of course, Sarawak is part of Malaysia. It's the largest state in Malaysia, actually, and located on the island of Borneo, at the eastern part of Malaysia. So that's where we are. Okay. Distance-wise, if you fly out from Kuala Lumpur to the capital city of Sarawak, it takes only 1 hour 45 minutes. But if you fly out from Singapore, it's only 1 hour 15 minutes. So we are a little bit closer to Singapore in that sense. If you fly out of Australia, it takes about 4 hours 45 minutes out from Perth. Mm-hmm. Okay. If you fly from Hong Kong, it takes about 3 hours 50 minutes. So that's where we are geographically located. Yeah. In terms of our products, I think we're very, very strong in terms of culture, adventure, and nature. The CAN. Culture, adventure, nature. We are very strong in that. That's our strongest point, selling point. Now, for those who are looking for this kind of attractions, of destinations, here Sarawak is all about to offer them what they want. Now, for culture-wise, I think we have the oldest culture ever probably in this world, because our tribe people, we have about 27 tribal groups in Sarawak that's dated way back probably in the last many centuries ago, that who probably used to live in the jungle, things like that. But now as modernization takes place, so they come into modernization as well. Now for nature-wise, we have the oldest again tropical rainforest in this world, probably older than what we can have in Amazon. Okay. Now with the oldest tropical rainforest that comes in, now we can see a lot of wildlife, we can see a lot of natural attractions, like we have the biggest cave in the world. So that is the reason why UNESCO has awarded us the World Heritage Site for our Mulu Caves, because we have the oldest cave system in the world, we have the biggest underwater cave passage in the world, so that kind of thing. So we are amazement kind of destination, the oldest, the longest, the biggest, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, just to cut short in short, okay, now with the culture that comes in, with the nature attractions that comes in, naturally the adventure elements come in as well. So when a person comes to Sarawak, they feel that it's more adventurous. They feel that they participate in the tour that they take, things like that, rather than just lying idle on the beach, roasting themselves on the beach. Not participative, I would say. So Sarawak is a destination that offers you something more energetic, more mobile when you come to Sarawak, rather than static, sleepy, and boring.
Hey, well, question. Let's go back to this volcano, a World Heritage, right? You say caves. Yes. How do you spell the name of the cave?
It's called Mulu, M-U-L-U, Mulu National Park. Yeah, that's what it's called. Now, it has the longest underwater cave passage in the world. It has the biggest cave system, because as you know, caves is underground, the network and everything. It is the biggest in the world, okay, and also it is the longest in Southeast Asia, a tunnel in the cave in Southeast Asia. So that's why UNESCO was so impressed that they decided there and then to declare it as a World Heritage Site.
Is this something a visitor can visit?
Right, you are right. This is a very good question. Now, when I explain this to a lot of agents, operators, by telling them the biggest, the longest, and everything, it sounds like very, very adventurous, and said, wow, that's not for me. Something like that,
But maybe for my client.
All right, you are right. Okay, now, Sarawak is very, very visitor friendly. It is a family destination, I would say. Very soft adventure. Now, if I can show you pictures on Mulu Cave itself, it will be good, but it is something that visitors can go in very freely, of course with a guide and things like that. What they can do is that they are walking on a boardwalk right inside the cave and out inside from the cave as well. It only takes you half an hour into the caves, the one that is open to visitors. Of course, the longest one is that it is well protected. That UNESCO have requested us to keep it, to preserve it, and to take care of it. The one that is open to visitors, we have 4 show caves, what we call 4 show caves, that where tourists can go and visit. And all the 4 show caves have different attractions. We have the Clearwater Cave, we have the Deer Cave, we have the Lang Cave, and we have the Wind Cave. Now, take for example the Wind Cave itself. When you go, just as you arrive, reach the entrance of the cave, you can feel like a gush of windy air coming from the caves. We don't know where the winds come from. As we know, caves is just underground, but it's just so windy that you can feel it. You see?
Tell us a little bit about the demographics of the visitors to Sarawak.
We have a traditional market. It's always the long haul market. We have very strong arrivals from the European market, namely from UK, Germany, France, Italy, and Holland. So these are our traditional market. When they come to Sarawak, they normally stays up to about a week, a month, or even 2 months in that long stay. That is our traditional market, and they are very, very strong into Sarawak. Now, of course, we do have also very strong arrivals from the ASEAN destinations. Now coming up very strongly is Singapore for us. We have very, very strong Singapore arrivals as well now because we have good connections, air connections from Singapore. So we have good arrivals from Singapore. Our new market, our new emerging market, I would say, is China and India. Now we all know that China and India will be the big market in future. So these 2 countries, these 2 markets is our emerging market now. Now Australia has been also very strong into Sarawak. But what Australia has for Sarawak is that they normally come as a transit point on the way out to Europe or on the way coming from Europe. So what they do is that they stay in Sarawak for about a week before they go back or before they go to Europe in that sense. Yeah.
So Americans is not really they're not coming here in any significant numbers.
Okay, according to our arrivals, American is not that very strong. Although we have a very consistent American arrivals and Canada in that way, but to go into the American market to strongly promote Sarawak at the moment, we are yet to do that. I think simply because of the distance, and also because we know that we have a very strong competitor which is just at the backyard, which is the South American destinations, the Amazon and everything, which is very similar in that sense. So we thought that could be a very strong competitor for us, and we need probably a lot of resources and budget to break into that market. So at the moment, we are yet to go into very strongly into that.
Just to share an experience with you, over 20 years ago, when I was in the travel business, I did several groups into your area. They were businessmen up the river, and they were kind of incentive trips that they would, corporate management to be together and that type of thing was very, very successful. I would have thought that the U.S. market would have taken on to your destination more.
Yeah, for market segment wise, incentive is always a good market segment for us. But for FITs and to go strongly to break into the consumers who walk along the street, for Sarawak it may be very difficult. But if you're talking about special interest group like incentives, probably society, nature society, that kind of thing, very specific. We would have go through database and things like that. But to just splash advertisement, for consumer in that reason, I think it will take a lot of resources for us. But again, of course, I wouldn't say that we are shooing away American market. Yeah.
To what degree do you and Sabah, that's your neighbor, right?
Yeah.
With Kota Kinabalu and their great assets. To what degree do people package the 2 together?
Okay, now Sabah and Sarawak complement each other, I would say. Now, we are very strong in our culture attractions. Whereas Sabah has very nice and good beach resort, very, very outstanding beach resorts. Where Sarawak at the moment has yet to come with a very good kind of a beach resort. Now, I think we complement most tour operators that I've encountered with, like from Europe, from Germany, and from Holland, and from UK. Now, they normally combine Sabah and Sarawak probably for a 14 days package or probably lesser. Yeah? So they always combine it because Europe, when they fly and then when they come into Borneo, I'm sure they want to combine both destinations as well. They normally start with Sarawak first, doing all the adventure, the trekking and everything, the national park, the orang utan, and then after they end up in Sabah and then stay and then just relax on the beach in Sabah before they fly off to their country.
Thank you very much.